Time for a wake-up call, everyone. This is Acid Roots. We're going to talk about one of last year's holiday releases, and that was Shady 15. This is actually a double album, but the other side of it has hits from Shady Records' career, which is 15 years strong. So, if you're wondering how to take this album in, I'm going to tell you right now. It is basically like a secret album from Eminem just because out of 12 songs, he's on there about 8, 9 times. I could look. I mean, if you count Bad Meets Evil, he's probably about on there. He's definitely on there more than half the time. So this is basically just like Eminem featuring his label. And it's good because, people always want more from this person. He feels like one of the people that, everyone is wanting at this point in time. And that hasn't died out over this decade. You'd think most people run out of steam by their second decade or so, but not the case. Most certainly not the case. And really, he's got some pals. This is different from how it was 10 years ago. Because when you think of people like 50 Cent, well, he had G Unit. So it wasn't necessarily just that. We had certain people, but the people he has on this record is Slaughterhouse, Yellow Wolf, and D12, and Bad Meets Evil. So what this combines is it's about 4, 5, and then if you add D12, it's about 5 different rappers, and they happen to work pretty well. Yellow Wolf has been with Shady, and he's kind of like a more feral version of Eminem, which I think is needed. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't really have a good song on this album. He's not on it that much, and we don't really get to see what he's up to terribly well. Slaughterhouse is not on here that much either, but they do much better. And yeah, it's definitely something that's a fixation. So it's basically like it's on Eminem's shoulders, and he takes care of it. But I'll give you the complaints as we go along. So you can smoke to this. Luckily, you can. I think the song Bane, Guts Over Fear, Vegas, and Right for Me are some good songs. There's more than 4 songs I like on this album, but I also would think Fine Line is probably another one if I didn't say that. So yeah, these are just the point of this release is if you can't tell from the album cover with the hockey mask, it's a little bit creepier than Eminem has been recently, and I'm very glad he took this direction just because this is what it's just like a shot in the arm. You need. Don't don't think I'm talking about like going crazy, but like it's a boost in a way that like if you're used to hearing commercial rap, I think that this is a very vital release from Eminem to turn to. A lot of people are gonna think that this album is bad just because it doesn't have the hooks, the gloss, and the radio appeal, but that's the point. These guys have a little bit slicker, meaner type punctuality that is reminiscent of Tech Nine and people like him. So you're gonna get Ritz, Tech Nine, Yellow Wolf, some of these gnarlier guys who have probably who pill pop and that sort of thing. It's plain to see that this is a real renaissance for horrorcore, and that's important. We could definitely use some new sound because commercial rap is, some people say like, if you hear rap is dead, it's mainly because the people who are running it don't necessarily know what direction to go in. Luckily, Eminem has paid attention. But the production, that's the thing about this release. There's not necessarily like blow you away records on here that just hits you right immediately, but I do think Bane does, Guts Over Fear does, and Right For Me is another one. So these are a few to go to. But the unheard songs. So the thing, this, I like 7 songs out of 12, and they are Psychopath Killer, Vegas, y'all already know, Guts Over Fear, Bane, Fine Line, and Right For Me. Now, the majority of these songs Eminem is on, and I guarantee that if you give them a try, you'll probably like them. Vegas and Right For Me take a little bit of getting used to, but Guts Over Fear is pretty much like an immediate hit. The hook is very serene. Y'all already know that one kind of has like a slinky beat. You'll probably end up liking that. Psychopath Killer is real gaudy, gritty type thing. So that's one. Bane, like I said, is one to go to. That one definitely has a good beat. Fine Line's another one. But there was an almost song on this release that I want to say I would have liked, but I just it's Detroit versus Everybody. Now this, I was kind of thinking, well, I didn't like it because the beat doesn't keep the whole way, but I did notice it's one of those beats that if you listen to it the whole way, it kind of gets repetitive. So what I thought was, okay, you win on that one, but I still don't know how I feel about the song. I do like it, but it's just one of those that's kind of pending. It fits pretty much as an almost song, which would make this an 8 out of 12. So I recommend this release, and you definitely need to sift through it and realize that it's probably one of the slicker releases out of last year. It's perfect for this time of year to listen to. And plus, and like I said, it's a secret Eminem album. He's on there quite a bit, so you might as well just consider this like him with, dope Pete with dope kin, that if you get tired of him, you got them. So that's basically all it is. He should definitely make a sequel to this. I'm gonna give this album, because I liked 7 out of 12, but then I guess I could say 8. I'm gonna give this album an 8.5 out of 10, because just 2 more songs and it would have been a 10. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5. And the social score, the future. I mean, Eminem is just came out with the Southpaw soundtrack, which is these guys again, only less emphasis, some added people to make a movie soundtrack. So we'll see how that goes, and I am going to review it. The social score, now, it's kind of difficult. There's not necessarily a ton of hits that just, the only thing is it is not commercial, and that may steer some people away, and they may not even care about this release. So I'm going to give it like a 6.5. I feel as if, like, the songs that were meant for the radio you'll probably like, but it's going to take some patience to deal with it. So it's dark, but it's just like Tech Nine. He's kind of an acquired taste. Can it be topped? I don't know. This was a surprise hit for me, and I did like it. So I give this album an 8.5 and a 6.5 social. Subscribe for more fun.